Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
Punishment Martinez has debuted in NXT and loses, but we're going to talk about that in detail. I am Luco and this is El Fakador Laurie Blake, and welcome to the post-NXT WrestleRamble, which of course is sponsored by Beer52.com. Go to beer52.com/WrestleTalk and claim your free case of craft beer. UK viewers only. We're going to do a bit of taste testing shortly, but first, let's talk about... We are, because it's behind us.
I didn't know that.
But first, we're going to talk about Punishment Martinez, who made his debut in NXT. He's been doing a lot of live events for them since signing, was it last month, a couple of months ago? It's probably October
it was
time.
it was a very fast turnaround.
Very fast turnaround, because he was in Ring of Honor like the week previous, and then all of a sudden he's just showing up in NXT live events. So this is his first appearance on TV, and he's in a match with the King of Bros, Matt Riddle. I'd be very interested to see, because this is kind of like our first... I would say this is almost our first proper Matt Riddle match in NXT.
Yes, where he's not just knocking
out
down in about 10 seconds.
Or doing a squash match.
Yeah, squashy squash.
So this is like his first, you could almost say, proper match in NXT. And we've had some feedback from people who watch the Ramble, again, hosted on Twitter or on our Discord. They're just like, don't get him. I don't get the whole Matt Riddle thing, which we've talked about at length before. So I'd be interested to see, now that people have seen him in a quote-unquote proper match, even though it only went like 6 or 7 minutes, what people think of him now. But
he's great.
He is great. He's the best.
If you think different, you're wrong.
Frankly, you're just wrong.
You're just wrong. This is not subjective opinion. This is an objective fact.
This is just...
He's very good.
Fact. He's just the best. So, what did you make of Martinez's debut?
I thought it was good. I would have liked to have seen this match go longer. I do not think the ending particularly helped anyone. Well, it helped Matt Riddle.
I was going to say help Riddle, yeah.
But, yeah, it feels a bit like... because... You know what, like Triple H did his obligatory handshake photo afterwards, and he was saying like, unrelenting, brutal, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, he did relent. He relented a lot. He relented quite a few times on Matt Riddle's. Yes. So I just feel like this was, one, having him tap out, I don't think it puts Riddle over huge, obviously, but I don't think it's very good for Martinez in the long run to be like, yeah, in your debut match you tapped out to the Bro Mission.
Yeah.
It could have done with going longer if that was going to be the case, and have him worn down, or some, there's something happens that causes him to be injured in the right places for the submission to work properly.
Yeah.
Rather than just being like, that's the first time he gets attacked there, and he's like, oh no, my neck's sore now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and I think you could have maybe we could have just dropped the Forgotten Sons.
Yeah.
In this
the match
episode.
that they had, rather
the
than
match
just overall.
We'll get rid of them forever, but we dropped the match that they had in this episode, and we let this go half an hour. Have a proper good showing from both guys where it's really, really close. Matt Riddle wins out in the end, probably not with the Bro Mission. I probably would have been like, let's use a different finisher there, like an actual just move 1, 2, 3, because it's much less of a sort of a giving up.
Yeah. And
then everyone comes out of it looking pretty strong. And Martinez has this great debut. It wasn't a bad debut. I think he looked really good. He had some great stuff. He's got an amazing look. He's almost like I saw someone saying he's like a proto Undertaker.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
And I like that idea.
Yeah. I thought this was a really good presentation of Martinez. He got to do some really wicked stuff, like that cyclone kick that he did, and like he did this really wicked clothesline to take down Matt. And I thought there was some really good stuff in there with like dumping Matt Riddle around the ring. But this almost felt to me like and I'm going to use the words debut here, that Donovan Dijak had on NXT TV, where he came in as Donovan Dijak and had some matches where he just lost, maybe competitively. And now they took him off TV for a little while, and they've repackaged him so he can re-debut as Dijakovic, which we got a promo for on this show.
Yeah. He's got an Ovich now.
Yes, so whether this was like the official NXT debut of Punishment Martinez, or it's going to be one of those sort of debuts where later down the line he's just going to come back with a brand new name.
Punishment Martinezovich.
Well, there you go. I mean,
he can team with Otis Dozovic, Dijakovic, and then Martinezovich.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. I did like Percy Watson on commentary pointing out that Punishment Martinez's father once beat Chuck Norris in a sparring match. So hey, man, that's putting him over a bit big there. And like you said, like he used to fight off loads of dudes at the same time. A lot of talk about his dad rather than the man himself. That's why he's called Punishment and this and the other. Like you, I thought this was a shame that it went so short. It only went like 6-7 minutes. I certainly could have done with it going longer, even if it only went 15 minutes, just to get something out of it. But if it is just here he is, we're putting him out on TV, but down the line we're going to rebrand him and give him a new name and a new look. I mean, I certainly hope they give him new entrance music because he
sounded like there was didgeridoos in the background. I mean, it was like,
my first note is like his music is a series of fart noises that don't build to anything.
Yeah.
It's like you're waiting for it to like get to the next level. It's just like. That's all his music is.
That's like the 4-second sting. It's like the what we were. You said it was horses at Shayna Baszler's thing. It's not. Whatever that car crash is at the beginning of Shayna Baszler's music, and then it's not horses. It cannot be horses. Like whatever that noise is at the beginning of Baszler's, and then the actual music that's good plays. I was sitting there being like, when's that coming? When does the rock bit come in? Like anything but. There seems to be like. I feel like the NXT composition team is having a very like lo-fi beats. Like they're basically making concentration music, but as people's entrance music. So Keith Lee's got it. Riddle has it.
Oh, I'll go to bat for Riddle's music.
His is okay because he sells it and it works with the bro chant. But it also fits in that same sort of like original Samoa Joe music vibe. And I think Martinez also has the same sort of like. It just feels like we're just. Chilling. Yeah,
well, we'll get onto this in the new
excited,
year. New year, new theme. We'll get started in 2019. That's for future CFO money to sort out. So I thought it was a solid debut, but really all this was here to do was just to further the Matt Riddle Cassius Ohno feud, because as Riddle wins and he's being all bro about it because he's the best. He's walking up the ramp, turns around, looks at Ohno right in the face, and then Ohno delivers the rolling elbow to him and sort of knocks him off the stage. Good reaction from the crowd for Cassius in that. Excuse me. So, I mean, I think I've sort of said my piece on what I think for Punishment Martinez and what could be next for him. I could almost see them in 2019 giving him a brand new name. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of agree. Actually, I think this could be just a let's get a bit of a pop.
Let's get him on
this slow. What is probably going to be a fairly slow period into Christmas for NXT before we start building to War Games properly. Like
Phoenix, you mean?
Sorry, Phoenix. Yeah, I've said Takeover so many times today because of the news as well. I was like, Takeover. Yeah, sorry, Takeover Phoenix. Like as we're building to that, let's just have something that's going to make people go, whoa. Like set up a notice that we're now probably getting back into the groove of actual NXT again, rather than 2 weeks of just filler.
And you know what? That worked as well because I was A, super excited that Matt Riddle was coming out for a match, but B, when Punishment Martinez came out with his farty music, I was like, oh, Punishment Martinez, hello. I thought to myself, well, there's our headline. Yeah. That's the name of this video sorted out. But we're going to crack on with the rest of the NXT review soon. But first, we're going to have ourselves a little beer. Hey there, do you like craft beer? Do you want some free craft beer? Well then why not head over to beer52.com/WrestleTalk and claim your free case of craft beer. All you've got to do is pay for the postage. UK viewers only, I'm afraid, for anyone outside of our fair isles. Thank you to everyone as well who has sent us images of you having the Beer 52s while watching the WrestleRamble. It's very meta, but we bloody love it. Thank you very much for getting in touch with us. Today's taste is the Firebrand Brewing Company's. Now, we were just discussing this before we started. Nipa, or any IPA? Yes, any IPA, which is a cloudy, juicy IPA. So let's get some of that good Foley work. Oh, crikey, it was so big. Hello, that's what she said, by the way.
It's from Cornwall, this.
What does our tasting notes say?
The tasting notes say...
Oh, yes.
Hops aplenty with smooth and silky malt and dry hopped in a big way. This tropical juice delight is bursting with mango, pineapple, and citrus.
Oh, yes. I can taste all of those things. Have a bang on that, mate. Very, very nice.
Oh, it's foul. Foul. Oh, that's disgusting.
So remember, head over to beer52.com/WrestleTalk and claim your free case of craft beer. UK viewers only.
You can really taste the pineapple.
Now that we've tasted Tetsuya Naito to kick off our show, we're now going to go into the rest of the NXT review. We've got a lovely little video package following that Matt Riddle Punishment Martinez match for Ricochet. It was really cool, just basically saying, like, look how cool he is. Look at all his flip-de-doos.
Yeah, he's great. And then announcing the fact that he will defend the North American title next week.
Yes, in an open challenge.
Unannounced opponent.
Yes, he's doing the North American Open Challenge. This, by the way, sounds like a tremendous use of Ricochet. Just like, let's just put him out on TV every couple of weeks with an open challenge, and he can have an excellent match.
You can do flippies and people can come out, yeah.
Thumbs up for that, mate. Can always do with a little bit of that on my TV every couple of weeks. So, if you read the spoilers, you know who it is that answers it. We're not going to spoil it here because we're not a spoiler show. Sorry, that Tetsuya Naito is coming back to haunt me.
It's those hops in a big way.
So we're not going to spoil it here, but I am very excited for that match because I'm a big fan of the lad, and it is a lad. We'll spoil that. That answers the challenge.
We'll spoil the gender. We should have done a gender reveal. Had a little blue balloon come up from behind the desk.
But up next, I mean, it's not. But it might have been my favourite thing on the whole show. This
is brilliant.
Tucky. This was tell him, Tucky. Before we started recording, we spent a good 5 minutes just like walking around the studio, sitting on the lights, just going, Tucky, come on, Tucky, come on, Tucky. It was a video package for Heavy Machinery, and what this promo was shots of the Heavy Machinery lifting weights, including and eating stuff, including one shot of Otis Dozovich staring maniacally at a plate of steak. There's like this ginormous, like Flintstone-style steak on there. He's going.
he's like human Scooby-Doo, isn't he? He's just.
But like this video package was like clips of them lifting weights, clips of them eating steaks, and then Tucker Knight cutting a standard promo about, hey, you know, this time last year we weren't ready to capture the NXT Tag Team Championships. We could not defeat the AOP, the Authors of Pain, but gosh hardy, we are ready now, and we're gonna do it. Which has been emphasised with Otis Dozovich just going, oh, Tucky, Tucky, tell him, Tucky.
But that's the thing, it was like, I feel really like Tucker Knight is really put upon in this tag team because he's like had to do this ridiculous promo where they're doing all these weights and eating these steaks, and Dozovich is just running away with it, going, lift it, Tucky, come on, Tucky, lift and weights, Tucky, the steaks and weights, Tucky. But then he's just cutting this very polite promo while this maniacal gremlin sitting next to him is just going,
oh my god. If Otis Dozovich is not WWE champion at some point in his career, this company has no clue.
I hope he then calls the belt Tucky.
Belty. Oh, Belty! Belty!
Come on, Belty.
This was brilliant.
It was really fun.
It really brought a massive smile to my face. Also, all my notes is just that, like, this is great. Otis is the best. Yeah. Oh, I loved it.
Oh, when he says, we're a tag team, one heart, two souls. Tucky.
Tucky. Oh, Tucky. William Regal announced this could be a fatal four-way for the #1 contendership to the NXT Women's Championship, and Bianca Belair is the first entrant into that. We saw clips of Belair, not Tony Blair, defeating, I've written Deonna Purrazzo ? Because they didn't say who it was.
I got distracted by the fact that Bianca Belair had new gear, and I was just like, she's not wearing trousers. And then I spent a lot of time just being like, this is weird. It's filmed from very far away. I can't tell what's going on.
I unfortunately did not notice that because I was rewinding trying to work out who it was she beat at a live event because they didn't say. So I was like, I think it's Deonna Purrazzo. I don't know though. So apologies. We're not up to date on. We haven't got.
I can tell you what she was wearing.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, she's going to be in this fatal four where we're going to find out who the other three entrants are along the line. Very cool. Up next, and good lord did I get excited at this, Raul Mendoza and Umberto Carrillo versus the Forgotten Sons. But hey, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was like, Mendoza
and Carrillo. Yes, I bloody love this tag team.
Yeah,
these guys are great. And I'll be honest, this does feel like a stretch to say, and I appreciate this is a massive, massive stretch to say. But if pushed right, if booked right, these two lads could be NXT's version of the Lucha Brothers. Yes. Of just having wicked, flip-de-doo matches full of really, really fun offense with cool characters. Like, as I said, it's a stretch because they are, I mean, the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Phoenix, are like leagues above most tag teams in the whole world. But, man alive, I'm a big, big fan. Carrillo in particular, I think he's awesome.
Yeah,
he's so good. And this was a really, really fun tag team match when they were on offense. Because then it was just... So they basically... The story of this match was they did flips. They were fun. The Forgotten Sons ground them down and they won.
Yeah, there wasn't even much grinding down. I was like... I really got... At the end of this match, I was like... I really felt like the other guy should have won this. Like,
yeah.
I don't feel like Mendoza and Carrillo are even like hurt at this point. So I don't know, unless flipping hurts. So maybe.
Oh, it's all the energy that he takes out of you.
Wasted everything.
Well, yeah, it's to your note you said last week where like you were only making notes about the people that lost.
Yeah,
that's just pretty much what happened here.
Doing it. I was just like, oh, and that's amazing. That was amazing. The bit where they did the poetry in they did a springboard Rana, and then he did the poetry in motion, got caught and got dumped on top of it.
That was the best thing that Forgotten Sons did. Yeah, it was Wesley Blake was in the corner, and the not Lucha Brothers went to do the poetry in motion, and Blake just caught one of them and just effed him into the other lad. It was pretty cool actually. It was a really good spot for them. But they hit a Scorpion Death Drop combo for the win.
Yeah, they had a few. I mean, the Forgotten Sons had a few cool moments in this.
Yeah,
there was a good. One of them did a backbreaker that bounced them off the ropes and then onto the back. That was pretty cool. Like it was good, but I just think comparatively to what the other guys were doing, everything the Forgotten Sons were doing just looked a bit naff. And like, I don't understand why Riker's not getting involved in the matches. I don't understand why he's coming out and just standing there.
He's got to stand there and just not blink.
Yeah, I know, but like at least do it in a way that's off-putting. Like he's just doing it like politely away from the match. Like it's fine if you're not blinking and no one's looking, but like he should be
doing
helping
something.
His team actually get the win. I just feel like it's a bit like I don't really get the vibe from the Forgotten Sons of what are they?
Yeah, I don't really get them either. And like I think that we're not alone in that because aside from that one kid who had a sign for the Forgotten Sons with all of their names on it, I don't think they're over at all.
No, but I think he was given that to remind people what their names are.
Yeah.
They were like, here's this, and this is actually just this. It's more like a Wikipedia entry. It's Forgotten Sons. And then here's the breakdown of who's in it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This act isn't working for me at the moment. Maybe it's because it just sort of feels like bootleg sanity. Because like the way that they're dressed and like it's obviously the presentation is vastly different, but it does feel a bit.
I think it doesn't help also now that Blake and Cutler have merged. They look the exact same.
Oh, they do, absolutely.
I was like, which one? Like, if it didn't say Cutler on his legs, I'd be like, I don't know which one you are anymore.
He's got the face mask on either to help us differentiate them. So, it wasn't. It was a match. I was just happy to see Mendoza and Carrillo.
It was a good match.
Yeah, a good match.
Bad finish. Good match. I just don't get what they're going to do with any of these people.
Yeah.
There was nothing coming out of this where you were like, this was just a showcase for some people to do some stuff, but I don't feel like anyone's going to get any momentum or go anywhere from here.
Yeah, we've said it before, but like NXT has a stacked tag team roster. Good crikey. And actually there's an interview with the Undisputed Era do where they sort of like list off a few of the names and you're like, good lord, this is a stacked roster of tag teams that you could really do something with. I think probably after the Royal Rumble, it'll be after WrestleMania. There's going to be probably a big call-up of tag teams to not be used on the main roster.
Yes, exactly.
Just to probably just try and free up some space in NXT, I guess. But before we get to that Undisputed Era promo, Kathy Kelly was backstage with the Velveteen Dream, trying to interview him, but like Dream just seemed all upset. And it wasn't because he didn't defeat Tomasso Ciampa for the NXT Tag Team Championship. No. Click of the finger. That was a terrible click. Click of the finger. Purple lights appear backstage. And his music starts playing. Now, he feels a bit more at home. Now it's an experience.
Now it seems like it's a boudoir. He's into it.
Yeah, and she's kind of asking what's next for she, being Kathy Kelly, pronouns pal, asking what's next for the Velveteen Dream. And he says that everyone, including Triple H, is talking about the Velveteen Dream. So in his eyes, his loss to Ciampa did what it needed to do. It got got people talking about him. Call me up, Vince, all that sort of stuff. And then it was a weird line. It's like, what's next for Dream? Leaving you. And he sort of walked away. But he said it so softly and so quietly that I didn't hear what he said. I had to rewind it 4 times to pick up. I thought he said spleening you. I thought he said cleaning you. And eventually I went to another report that said leaving. I was like, okay, right, cool, leaving you. Now I got it.
Yeah.
Eventually I got there.
Suggesting bye-bye Dream. I don't think he's ready.
No.
I think he should be staying, and some of the other people he's been having matches with should go up. But
Yes. But
much of a muchness.
Much for muchness, exactly. I mean, what they're going to do when they go up to the main roster anyway? It's not like, they've got big plans for them.
No, exactly. He's gonna turn up and just be fun, isn't he? He's gonna come out and have like fun, sort of show opening New Day style.
Well,
like old New Day before they broke out into being like incredibly like amazing in-ring workers, because that obviously their stream of matches this year have all been really, really good, and towards the latter half of last year. But like before, when they were just mostly for fun, I think that's what Dream's going to be for a while.
Well, you see, now I've just got a lack of confidence in this company, but you say New Day, I say no way, Jose. I say that you are on TV for a couple of weeks, and then before you know it, you are being used to get over Mojo Rawley.
Well.
Anyway, the Undisputed Era...
get over Mojo Rawley.
Undisputed Era cutting a promo backstage. Cole this time, because of what happened to the War Raid, or happened with the War Raiders before War Games, just like, man, is the door locked? Just want to make sure the door is locked. Nice little touch. I really appreciate that. And essentially, everyone then just sort of cut their own little individual promo. Bobby Fish is facing EC3 next week on NXT TV, so he was kind of talking about that. Like he said, he goes, I'm not just a guy. I'm the guy that people warned you about. Like that. Lovely stuff.
I really like new Bobby Fish.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that, to go back to the tag team point as well, the Undisputed Era here made the point that who are we going to face? Like the War Raiders, they're out of action now.
The Boar Raiders.
Yeah, the Boar Raiders. But you know, Hansen is, as we find out later, mega injured.
Yeah.
So like they're out of the picture. Who else could possibly face the Undisputed Era here? They go, they say like not the Forgotten Sons, joke.
Yep.
Street Profits, no. Like,
yep.
They list off most of the tag teams. So I mean, probably Heavy Machinery, but
well, yeah, like because it's Kyle O'Reilly says like, who are we going to face next? Those construction workers.
Yeah.
The Heavy Machinery. I did also like I think it was Roderick Strong. Amazing like. Rubbish bully line. It was like, we're going to face the mighty, more like the weaky. And they all go like, yeah, good one. So yeah, most likely it'll be Heavy Machinery. Ducky. And Adam Cole says this is their era. And as Laurie said, we found out that Hansen of the War Raiders is recovering from broken ribs.
Broken ribs, a ruptured spleen, and torn ligaments. Multiple torn ligaments.
So what we have learned from NXT, though, if 2018 has taught us anything, is that sometimes injuries in NXT do get reported as real injuries, but in fact, they're actually not so real, and they're just a way to keep people off TV. Lars was that one where it's like, oh, he got a fractured bone in his jaw or whatever it was. Turns out that was a load of BS, and it was just a way to keep him off TV for a little while, because they didn't want to just keep putting him in championship matches. So,
because he's massive.
So we'll find out whether or not this is real injuries to poor old Hansen and Bop. And then we got probably the best match of the whole night. This was terrific, actually. So it was Dakota Kai looking to get some revenge on the NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler.
In a non-title match.
In a non-title match. This was... I loved this.
It was great. It was really good.
Really, really, really liked this. Slightly distracted at first, though, because Marina Shafir was wearing the same trainers that I got married in. Same colours and everything. I was just like, huh. I mean, I got grey Converse. They're not exactly, like, unique. But I was like, oh, those are the same trainers I got married in.
What if they were the exact same ones?
Well, I know they're not because I've worn them since, and I've managed to knacker them out a little bit. I've got another pair. I've got my brother's pair from my groomsman. So I could have a nice pair of them. But I save for special occasions.
You could have put them in, like, a box or something and kept them, you know.
Well, that's exactly what I should have done.
You could have entombed them or enshrined them.
That is exactly, Laurie, what I should have done. Instead, I needed a pair of Converse because my other ones had split.
I've been walking bare feet for ages.
So I was like, oh, brilliant. Now I've got a pair of Converse again. This is grand. But they're now like completely knackered. Anyway, so back on the match, more importantly. I just really, really liked this match. It was Baszler like working down Kai. Like Kai sort of comes hot out the gate, but Baszler like catches her on the outside, like trying to do a kick off the apron, and she just launches her into the ring post. A really like creative and inventive way of using the ring post. I thought it looked really, really cool. And then she starts doing like the arm breaker spot and things like that. Kai sort of gets sort of moments of hope, but really this was all like Baszler beating down Dakota Kai, just waiting for that comeback. And holy heckins. I mean, I'm a big fan of Dakota Kai. I bloody love Dakota Kai. I love her even more since I discovered she's also a massive fan of Slayer. So instantly, she's my numero uno in NXT now. But, like, when she's firing up, because, like, Baszler's sort of pushing her down, and she's like, the camera shot this brilliantly, where she's like getting really sort of fired up, and Baszler's like, oh my god, what are you doing? And then she sort of ducks down and she does this scorpion kick right into Shayna. So cool.
So good.
But not only was it really cool from Kai, because I've watched it back since, Baszler's selling of it is amazing. She is something else, Shayna Baszler. She is absolutely incredible. She sells this kick. Literally, in one motion, she falls down while at the same time going like, "What just happened?" Like, it's incredible. She really is on another level. And then it's
kicks to the face.
Kicks to the face. Captain of Team Kick doing lots of kicks. And oh man, I loved it. I loved watching Kai run wild.
Yeah, it was awesome. And there was a couple of bits at the beginning where she did the same thing. I loved I liked the beatdown angle was great with the moments of hope, because it was always like Baszler's just one step ahead of you. Yeah. There was a point where she went to do the arm stomp that she does. Yeah. And Kai moves her arm and then rolls up Baszler, but then in the roll up, Baszler transitions that into an armbar. Yeah. And you're like, oh, okay,
it's great. She saw it coming.
She's unbeatable.
She is unbeatable. She's the best. And she goes up top. There's this really nice. Well, I say it's a nice one. It made me laugh anyway. But they sort of go up top, and Baszler jumps up and kicks her in the head, and then someone shouts from the crowd, "Finish her!"
Yeah.
Really made me laugh.
That moment was cool though, because she was going for she had her in an arm lock, a wrist lock, didn't she? And then Kai went up to try and alleviate the pressure, which is which is great in-ring storytelling. And then she goes for the big gut wrench off the top, gets knocked down, jumps up with a kick to the head, all the way up to the top, and then the gut wrench happens.
Big gut wrench on the top.
There's so many good little moments in this match. It's well worth watching.
Absolutely, yeah. And then she locks in the Kurafuna clutch and gets the win. Really good showing for Dakota Kai. I mean, I've written here, lovely match. I just thought it was just lovely stuff. And I can tell you, well, this is my theory on things. I think Marina Shafir has been watching tapes of Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, because although she is married to Roderick Strong, she was emulating those two on the outside with all like the way she reacts to Shayna Baszler, the way she's like acting on the outside. She is channeling Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish.
She's channeling pure fish.
She is pure fish. Someone actually shared a video that was like Kyle O'Reilly is a national treasure, and it's like all of Kyle O'Reilly's best moments throughout this year and last year. And one of the ones I completely forgot about, which is when Adam Cole, it was before Roderick Strong had joined Undisputed Era, and they're all in the parking lot. It's Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong, and Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish walk up. And Adam Cole was just like, oh, you'll never get another title shot against us. And then Pete Dunne says, like, oh, well, like the time that I beat you. And Kyle O'Reilly takes off his glasses and just mouths, how dare you?
Yeah, that is an amazing moment. I've seen that gif so many times. It's so good.
How dare you? So I thought it was a really good match, and then afterwards the horsewomen, they keep being referred to as the horsewomen, 3 or 4 horsewomen they keep saying, start doing a beatdown on Kai, which didn't look all that great in all fairness. It's like they were a bit like, I mean, we know we've got to do a beatdown, but I don't know how to start one.
I thought it was more like, I sort of read it, well, the way I watched it, and what it seemed like to me was they were doing a sort of like, she's so pathetic that we're just playing with her.
Oh, it wasn't even like,
it wasn't a vicious beatdown. It was literally just like, they were just sort of kicking her between them. They were like pushing her in each other's direction.
That's nice.
And then I thought after that, it then looked, when they actually started going for it, it looked a bit sloppy. Yes. And that was the point where I was like, okay, maybe it wasn't. But I like the idea that it was a bit more just like playing with your food and being like, we're just sort of, they were just sort of tipping her over and then kicking her around. It's like cats. Like,
I think that's good. Yeah, I like that. And then out comes Ayup Shirai, and she essentially clears house, and she sets up Baszler to do Dakota Kai's sort of like running penalty kick thing that she does to the face, but Baszler gets pulled to safety, and the heels run away. And I mean, it's probably a good job that Baszler got moved out of the way, because Kai was not slowing down.
She was going fast.
She was going fast. She was not pulling that kick. Absolutely not. She would have kicked her head off.
You're going through the ropes. Either through your friends pulling you out, or through me forcing you out. Like the end of Alien Resurrection.
Like that kick essentially says, like, I'm not going to kick you to the main roster, just your head. I'm just kicking your head clean off your shoulders up to the main roster. We then got a video package for Dijakovic. Dijakovic or Dijakovic?
Doesn't matter.
Let's go with the first one. Name. It's not his real name. And then it was announced that EC3 will take on Bobby Fish next week. And then we got our main event
he was
segment.
The chairman of NXT.
Oh, yeah, that is nice.
Fish is the chairman of NXT.
Very nice. And then we got our main event segment, which was Tommy EC coming out, Tomasso Ciampa, to say that he was the MVP of TakeOver War Games. And he said, he points to the crowds like, no one believed in me. You didn't believe in me. You didn't believe on me. Pointing up to Mauro now, and the great shot of Mauro selling this, of being like, don't even mention my name. Don't bring me into this. He's like, you didn't believe to me. You've never said nice things about me. But Mamma Mia, here I stand, the NXT champion. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, he's not the flavor of the week. He's not the flavor of the month. He's the sports entertainer of the year. Lovely stuff.
And they cut to the a little kid with a Ciampa as a bully sign.
With the thumbs down. Boo. Boo. What a mark. And then...
Stupid young mark.
Aleister Black's music hits, really good reaction for him coming out. And he says that he was absolved Gargano of his sins that Ciampa helped create. And he said he's not really a champion. And he's invoking his rematch clause for TakeOver Phoenix, which will happen the nights before the Royal Rumble. But this brings out Johnny Freaking Wrestling, who says that, hey, I think you're getting ahead of yourself a little bit there.
We're not done.
We're not done yet, pal. And they had a really, really good back and forth. But what I loved about this, it was that Ciampa was the one pulling all the strings.
Yes, so that was the thing. So Aleister Black, in his initial bit of the promo, he said, you've been the puppet master, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've been orchestrating this whole thing. And then he gets out of the ring as Johnny comes out. And there is a point where he says he's doing the talking, and Johnny's just stood there completely still, staring at Black, not saying anything, and just not reacting to what Ciampa's saying. But it's almost like he's on standby until he gets instructions to do something from Ciampa. And then Ciampa's like, goading them into this steel cage match, which is what's set up here. And Johnny's like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I am, no.
And I love this. Like, Ciampa's really playing up on their history. It was like, and I know Johnny very well. And if there's one thing that Johnny Boy would love, it's a steel cage match with you. And it was really, really nice. Really playing the puppet master role. Both of them kind of really got suckered into this. But Black looked, very, very happy to be locked inside of a steel cage with Johnny Wrestling. And they have this really good back and forth with, like, sort of shouting at each other. And then Ciampa, Black fires up and says, like, I'll fight you inside a steel cage. I can beat you anywhere. I can beat you outside in the parking lot. And Johnny Wrestling just says, oh, yeah, because that worked out really well for you last time. Whole crowd goes, oh!
So Black swings for him.
Exactly. Black was like, yeah, I walked right into that one. Here, have a black mass! And but Gargano ducks and bails. And Ciampa's just on the outside. His plan has worked. Puppet master. Black mass right to the face, which he sold absolutely brilliantly. I thought it was a really, really cool angle to end off this show. I thought it was awesome. Perhaps the highlight of this, though, was Gargano walking up the ramp doing the Scott Hall spooky fingers. We're like, ooh, we're so scared. Thought it was great.
One thing I didn't like about this bit was, I don't know why Aleister Black got his full entrance. It just felt a bit weird, didn't it? To be like, he used, like, Ciampa was like on a roll, and then it was like, boom, boom, wait for the smoke, boom, boom, coming up in a coffin, like, boom, 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 ba. I know, like, when he enters they're trying to have this mystique with Aleister Black, and they do have it when he does do that full entrance, but like here, it just felt like you're killing the pace in here. Like, it needs to be like he just hit his music, have him have him storm out.
Yeah.
It just felt weird for him to be like, oh, I'm gonna just come out and do the whole like thing, and then be like, yeah, now I've got something to say.
Yeah. And
now that I've spent a good minute and a half getting here, here's my point.
Now that I've entertained all of these people with my excellent entrance, which they're going to have to see again because it's the same crowd every night, I've got a point to make. Can I have a match?
Keep firing off the old smoke machine.
It's all the residue from Punishment Martinez's fart music. I thought it was a cool ending segment to what I thought was a really, really fun episode of NXT. I thought it was a terrific show.
It was. I mean, it's back to form, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that, we're now in the stage where we're setting up stuff for the future. We're still allowed to have matches that don't particularly go anywhere, that don't necessarily mean very much, but they managed to be very, very good.
Yes.
But the thing that mattered the least on this was probably the Forgotten Sons versus Mendoza and Carrillo.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Yeah, Absolutely. I thought it was a very, very fun show. Well worth checking out if you haven't. If you just watch these rambles just to find out what happened in NXT and get our thoughts, I would recommend you go out of your way to watch this episode. I thought it was a heck of a lot of fun. But that is all we have got time for on this show. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, head over to beer52.com/WrestleTalk to claim your free case of craft beer. Perfect little Christmas present. All you have to do is pay for the postage and click the videos that have just appeared slightly below us here to catch up with the latest WrestleTalk awesome things, and this button here that will subscribe you to the WrestleRamble podcast version with its own intros and outros. I have been Luke Owen. This has been El Fakador Laurie Blake, and that was NXT Rambling.